Good morning. I am so happy to be here again today. Here in Minneapolis, it's been hot and humid, so I feel like I'm back in Atlanta again. It's always a pleasure for me to present these talks, although I will admit that it is also a little scary for me as well. It is my hope that my words bring something positive into your thoughts, and I guess that deep down, or maybe not so deep, I'm afraid that I will fail to meet my goal. But this is where faith, trust, and prayer work for me. Faith that when I ask for guidance from the Holy Spirit, I will receive it. And trust that I will speak the words she wants me to say. And this is my not so subtle way of introducing a point I'd like to make before getting into the body of today's message. Maybe you heard my talk last month about healing prayer, but if you didn't or don't remember it, I talked about the power of spiritual healing through prayer and my belief that faith and trust are the foundation for healing prayer. However, after that talk, I discovered that faith seems to be a concept in today's culture that turns some people off. That thought never even occurred to me when I was preparing my talk, so I thought I'd take a minute today to clarify what I meant by faith, because I believe it is a common commodity, and I don't believe it should be exclusively relegated to a religious context. According to Merriam-Webster, faith is a firm belief in something for which there is no proof. It's complete trust, something that is believed, especially with strong conviction. Synonyms for faith are belief, confidence, sureness. Faith has a place in everyday life. For example, most of us have faith in our partner's love for us and for our children. And every time we follow our dreams, goals, and passions, we are taking a leap of faith. Remember those recent space flights? They only happened because people dared to dream and trusted in the abilities of others to make those dreams come true. Believing in something is a powerful motivator. In talking about spiritual healing, I firmly believe that even though faith or belief in the process is not a requirement for the person being prayed for, it is definitely a requisite for the healer, simply by definition. Spiritual healing is a gift that presupposes the healer's unshakable trust in a higher power, whatever that power is called. In other words, anyone, anywhere can request healing for themselves or others, no matter what they profess to believe. Yet they still have to trust what they are asking for will be answered in some way, and always with the possibility and hope of true healing in our best and highest good. And so now I come to today's topic. The theme for this month is how we heal. So in keeping with this theme, and to continue on from last month, I want to talk about spiritual healing as a holistic practice. Holistic originates from the Greek root holos, which translates as whole. A holistic approach means to provide support that looks at the whole person, addressing the patient's physical, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. A holistic approach focuses on a person's total wellness, not just the illness or condition, rather than curing ailments in isolation, as allopathic medicine aims to do. The Western Connecticut State University Institute for Holistic Health Studies, that's a mouthful. They provide the following information about holistic health practices. Holistic healing is referred to in a variety of ways: alternative medicine, complementary medicine, natural health care, integrative medicine. Holistic approaches include, but are not limited to, spiritual healing, relaxation techniques, homeopathy, acupuncture, acupressure, biofeedback, massage therapy, meditation, yoga, therapeutic touch, Reiki and other energy therapies, chiropractic manipulation, craniosacral therapy, aura healing, sound healing, chakra balancing, EFT, life coaching, and I would add many more that I just don't know the names for. According to the Institute, individuals actively participate in their health decisions and healing processes using alternative approaches in combination with each other and with conventional medicine to provide an integrated approach to health. Traditional holistic approaches focus on the use of food, herbs, supplements, teas, homeopathic remedies, and essential oils. Movement, dancing, singing, or chanting, sound and vibration, drumming, prayer, meditation, and mindfulness are examples of holistic healing methods. And again, I know I've left out some. Holistic approaches to health are derived from ancient healing traditions that were developed to achieve higher levels of wellness and prevent disease. In his book, Sacred Healing, Dr. Norman Shealy tells us that not only priests, kings, and holy people have possessed the abilities to cure, ordinary individuals have also demonstrated the specific power to heal. Yet today it is more often, religious and spiritually oriented holistic practitioners who are rediscovering and reviving those traditional cures and practices, as well as creating new ones. For every method of holistic healing out there is someone who specializes in it. Holistic practitioners have many labels: spiritual healer, energy healer, psychic healer, shaman, Ayurvedic doctors, naturopathic physicians, holistic health coaches, and herbalists, just to name a few. As well as addressing physical imbalances, holistic healers work to restore balance in the unseen or subconscious layers of your being that support the health issues you're focused on healing. This helps you reshape your life to release unhealthy problems, support your spiritual well-being, and restore your physical wellness. Individuals' lives are often transformed when their situations are understood in relation to the whole person. Approaching healing spirituality is essential because the deepest, most profound, and most lasting levels of healing come through spiritual healing. With a holistic spiritual approach, healing is more than a group of techniques. It reflects the truth that we are essentially spiritual beings having a human experience. I believe all healing, whether holistic, spiritual, or allopathic, ultimately comes from a divine source. One well-known medical intuitive you may have heard about, Edgar Cayce, states, "Know that all strength, all healing of every nature is the changing of the vibrations from within, the attuning of the divine within the living tissue of a body to creative energies. This alone is healing, whether it is accomplished by the use of drugs, the knife, or whatnot. It is the attuning of the atomic structure of the living cellular force to its original spiritual heritage." With reference to the types of healing, he goes on to say, "There is no difference, for the good in each treatment comes from the same source. They are not contradictory, as some people believe. All healing comes from the divine." In the foreword to Shealy's book, Sacred Healing, Carolyn Mace writes, "Healing, by definition, is a sacred art." But what does she mean by that? Well, she goes on to explain, saying, "Healing is essentially a mystical experience, not a mental one, not an emotional one, and not a psychic one, but a mystical one." Practically all of the ancient texts describe the art of healing as a divine process in which healing the body first requires healing the spirit, and the soul is the healing vessel. Unfortunately, modern medicine practices have eclipsed our innate understanding of the spirit of healing. As Mace says, respect for the healing power of prayer, faith, and love diminished dramatically as chemical medicine produced more and more physical results. The healing power of faith was reduced to a personal matter that carried little or no authority in the scientific and medical community. Somewhere along the line, the precious role of the sacred has been reduced to the status of superstition and non-provable thought. Sheely writes that sacred healing implies a reverence for the art of healing. It looks at the interior of the human soul and honors its position of power within the human body. Sacred, meaning holy or consecrated, includes all aspects of mysticism and religion. Sacred healing or spiritual healing has traditionally been considered a miraculous type of healing. It is interesting to note that in early traditions, spiritual healing usually occurred through the laying on of hands by kings or priests. As a fun note, some of you may remember in J.R.R. Tolkien's book, Return of the King, when Faramir returns to Gondor near death, there's a line spoken in the book by a healer who laments the missing king, saying, "The hands of the king are the hands of a healer." I've always wished they had included that line in the movie. Casey performed almost 15,000 readings in his lifetime. Almost 10,000 of those were related to health and illness. He emphasized that all healing ultimately is spiritual, involving God or a divine force, assisted by prayer or sacred healers. So you might ask, what is the difference between a healer and a sacred healer? Sacred healers embrace the sacred as the foundation for all life. They believe in the soul and in the higher power of some description, and that both are somehow part of a higher dimension. A sacred healer or master healer believes the soul is a part of overall divinity and the physical body is only a mechanism for existing in the physical plane. A sacred healer pays continuous attention to and is totally devoted to the divine, maintaining a constant and consistent mental and spiritual connectedness. Through prayer and meditation, the healer improves her or his ability to tap into this higher dimension and divine healing energy. Meaning master healers do not expend their own energy to heal. They never lose energy and are never fatigued or de-energized during the process. They can also feel the patient's energy and see their aura. Sacred healers choose to live and work in relationship to the divine and the sacred. It is this attunement to the divine that defines the healer. Dr. Christiane Northrup writes that regardless of whether we believe in angels, God, Jesus Christ, the human spirit, Buddha, the Blessed Mother, the Great Spirit, or the goddess Gaia, being in tune with our spiritual resources is a vital healing force. Committing ourselves to remembering our spiritual selves and receiving guidance for our lives is part of creating vibrant health. And as we heard in today's reading by Dr. Northrup, when we invite the sacred into our lives by sincerely asking our inner wisdom or higher power or God for guidance in our lives, we're invoking great power. This can't be taken lightly. When you sincerely invite the sacred, your inner guidance or spirit, to assist you with your life, you are granting permission for your life to change. In conclusion, I'll close today with one final thought from Dr. Sheely. Sacred means holy, consecrated, or related to worship of God. The spirit is part of that which is created by God, but sacred implies a reverence for God itself. And if you are a theist, one who believes in God, then sacred implies a reverence for all things created by God. Thus, sacred includes reverence for life itself, for the principles of life, and for all that sustains life. In this sense, all healing is sacred. And so it is. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.